Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video from us, Westphalia Digital Nomads. Me, Armando, my wife Mel, our dog Ziggy. We travel full time in our VW Westphalia California coach since 2012, and what we like to do here on YouTube is to share our small knowledge about living in a van, working online, and of course traveling. We are now just a few kilometers south from Sarande on the Albanian seacoast. And what I want to talk about today, exactly about Albania, not about the seaside, we just arrived at the seaside, but more about the mountain and the countryside. But first of all, I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Ersi. He's the local farmer, and we got cabbage, cucumber, and peppers. So thank you so much for sponsor today's video. So let's go to the topic. Let's talk about Albania. We entered 4 days ago in Albania. It's April now. It's off season yet. It's still a little bit chilly, but still an amazing country to discover. So here are our tips about traveling in Albania in a van. So we enter from Macedonia, that's the country we visit for almost a month. And it was pretty easy to get in, just showing the passport, and as well we show our dog passport. So if you travel with a pet, with a dog, with a cat, with a cow, with a sheep, or a chicken, so be sure you got the passport with all the vaccines and the anti-rabies, of course. The police at the border, they complained a little bit because the photo was missing on the passport, but it's not mandatory, so yeah, we're gonna put it maybe. But anyway, was easy to pass without any complication. And make sure if you come from Macedonia that you fill the tank in Macedonia, because the fuel is a little bit more expensive here, but I'm gonna talk about these a little bit later. So let's talk first of all about the language. So they speak Albanian, that it's a pretty difficult language, I can tell you. In Macedonia I was helped by the Bulgarian that I know, and it's really similar, but in Albania I would say mostly in the countryside and in the mountains. There are not so many touristic places as on the seaside, so there's not so many people that speak English. Few of them speak Italian, or at least understand Italian. I didn't even try with French, and the Bulgarian was pretty much useless. So at some point I started to communicate with my hands and gesture. That's what you need to do. At least they're gonna understand you. The people, I can say Albanian, the faces that look kind of scary, kind of really serious, and sometimes even scary, but the moment you start to speak with them or try to speak with them, they're so friendly people. We met few of them while traveling in the countryside, and yes, it's just absolutely friendly people. And so far we didn't felt any in danger in any way. So about safety, about sleeping outside in the van, we do not do camping, so we always do free camping. Like here today, for example, the seaside is just about 20 meters from here. So we never felt in any danger. So probably only in bigger cities like the capital Tirana you may need just the extra safety. So for example, you can always find a paid parking, but it's guarded. So if you want to take a tour of the town, that's what we usually do in bigger cities. But so far in the countryside and in the mountains, so friendly people, absolutely safe, I would say. So speaking about the mountains and the countryside, they have absolutely gorgeous mountains. So they have a natural park that it's on the north of Albania, and then there's several mountains change that go through all the country from north to south, and they're absolutely gorgeous. One especially also seems like the Dolomite, because we're pretty steep. There's still a lot of snow on top of them. It's April now, so I suppose the winter it's pretty cold out here. But I think if you like hiking or climbing, for example, or biking on the mountains, Albania for sure it's absolutely amazing. I will see if I can find some links about hiking and climbing in Albania, and I will put them down in the description. As well, I will put some parking GPS in nice places that we found, and guess what, we're free. You don't have to pay for that in order to get them and find a nice spot where to park the van. Of course, you have to think that we have a small van, so if you come with a huge sprinter you can get some problem to get there, because we really like to explore and to take dirt roads and side roads. Speaking about roads, wow, I would say the main roads, the one for example that we took from the mountain today to get here near Saranda to the seaside, it was pretty good condition. But for example, let me show you the map. We took these roads, that it's really a mountain road, some amazing landscape all the way. It was about 100 kilometers and it took 4 hours because the condition of the asphalt was really terrible. That seems like the moon landing, seriously like the moon soil with holes and such. So I suggest you, if you don't want to spend a lot of money in shocks and springs, just stay on the main roads, the big yellow one on the card. And I would say try to avoid the side roads because the condition is not really good. And continue speaking about the driving. I would say Albanian people were pretty much careful drivers. I didn't have any problem, but there's only one thing that we're actually doing absolutely wrong, and is about roundabout. The first car I think that came here in 1991. Before that, it was just for high rankings and people from the government. So maybe they don't have so much experience on driving. There's huge triangle for each roundabout that we took, but they just don't care. They just come from the right or from the left, doesn't matter, and they don't give the rights to the people, to the car that actually are already in the roundabout, as it should be all over Europe. So when you find a roundabout, just make sure that you watch everywhere, because in this way you will avoid any kind of accident. About parking, I mentioned we don't do camping, we do only free parking, and we always try to be near a source of water, so a lake, a seaside like today, or a river. The first day wasn't really great because I found on the map this nice small reservoir, but the moment we arrived there, check what happened. So it was actually a dump, and we saw many of these kind of dump exactly near some reservoir. So it was a little bit of a struggle to find a nice place the first day and the second day as well. You're gonna have to check side roads and dirt roads in order to find just a quiet place where to park from the night. We always try to be away from roads because we like our dog just to be free and to roam around, and so that's why we always try to see some dirt roads. Sometimes could be complicated because if you think the side roads are not bad, the dirt roads are even worse than that. So we don't have a synchro, but we have some good tires, and we lift the van, so we're pretty good on dirt roads as well. So let's talk about money. The currency here in Albania is not euro. It's like, even if euro, it's accepted somewhere. But we struggle a little bit with another problem, is that especially in the countryside and in the mountain, that is not probably the most touristic part of Albania, like the seaside, not so many places take cards, even gas station and supermarket. So make sure you take out some cash because it's what they like, to be paid cash. The funny things, the first day when I stopped in a shop of LLB telecom to buy the Wi-Fi, he took out the POS machine from a closet and he take out the dust from it. So that means that they don't use cards that much as in any other country. And for us, it's a little bit of a struggle because outside of EU, we pay €5 commission. Doesn't matter how much money you take out, could be €10, €50, €100. We still pay €5 commission each time we take out money from a cash machine from a bankomat. Probably on the seaside we will see, because we just arrived today, will be better as it's a bit more touristic using the cards. We try several supermarkets as well. Not all the supermarket accept the card. So as we speak about supermarket, let me speak a little bit about food and what you can find in the supermarket. They have a pretty good variety of food products. But, for example, we still didn't find fresh meat and fresh veggie in the big supermarkets. They only have frozen meat and sometimes frozen veggies. So what we did, of course, we like to support the local business and the local community, so we take out some cash, paying €5, and we were able to go to the small, really local shop to buy fresh veggies. And yeah, I would say you will find a lot of different small supermarkets, and they always have a good variety of product. So yeah, we're pretty satisfied about that. If you want to fill your water tank, no worries. There's a lot of places where you can find water, especially in the mountains. We found several places with fountains and with springs. So it's not really an issue to find water. And last things, you know, we work online, so we need to be connected. And we found a good Wi-Fi option at ALB Telecom, that I suppose is the main company. Then you also have Vodafone and T-Mobile, but this one has the best offer. We pay 1500 lek, the first card with 15 gigabytes, and then we pay another 1500 lek for an additional 20 gigabytes. So now we have 35 gigabytes for 3000 lek. That should be around €25, something like that. So yeah, this is it so far. I will give more info and tips in the next video that will be more about the seaside, as we're gonna start from today from Sarande to go slowly north by the seaside. So far there's some beautiful beaches, beautiful clear crystal water. Unfortunately, is not the best time right now because it's still too cold to get into the water. But I would like to thank again Ersi that sponsor our video today with some cabbage, peppers and cucumbers. Thank you so much and see you next time, guys. Safe travels.